The quality people brag about that is actually a red flag. I'm brutally honest. If you are bragging about that, you are probably just inconsiderate and unlikable. I know because I used to say that until I realized that not only was my opinion not always needed or welcome, but when it was I could at least try to consider the feelings of the people I was speaking to before opening my mouth. When startup founders brag about a shipping code on weekends and sleeping under desks, 90% of the time they just built an extremely fragile wrapper app that will crash on Monday anyway. It's not passion, it just means terrible project management. How much sleep and coffee they have and still function. Kind of horrifying to imagine that someone who slept 3H and had for coffees before 10 a.m. drove a 1-ton metal box at 110 km/h 70 miles per hour. That they're a good parent. If you're constantly saying that, I hate to break it to you. Intelligence. Smart people don't need to broadcast it. Stupid people desperate to look smart won't shut up about it. One of the boys, he can't be friends with other women. Whenever someone says you'll never meet a person more honest than me. How easily they can influence you. This is the quality of manipulators, which is one of the biggest red flag. Never taking a sick day. Bragging about not caring what anyone thinks, often just an excuse for being inconsiderate. Honestly, people who think they're alpha or better than everyone else just because they have a little bit of money or go to the gym. Anything anyone brags about is just lame after a certain age. Roasting out of competitiveness is one thing, but just bragging about anything once you hit 30 is weak and probably an overcompensation. I'm loyal to a fault. Excellent quality, when you're not trying to convince me, or yourself, of it. How hardy they are. LOL. In the last 24 hours, this sub has had 20 posts with the phrase "a red flag" in the title. I'm fluent in sarcasm. Having multiple baby mamas and baby daddies. Bragging about how much money they have. I just tell it like it is. People say I'm mean, but I'm just direct. I roll. Saying things like my kid comes first when you've just met, because of course, who wouldn't put their children first? Not to mention that implies you'd expect something other than that, so it's extremely rude. And trust me, and ultimatums. I learned one from my mother, another from a therapist, and another myself, and have experienced all three. No thanks. They wear their heart on their sleeve, aka they grossly overreact and can go from having the best day of their life to the worst day in seconds. Being an empath. They usually aren't at all. Getting chicks. Especially if they're trying to hit on me with I had sex with a lesbian before. I am proud of my PSSY eating skills. It never ever works. Ignorance, when they're proud of not knowing very basic knowledge, especially when they then get aggressively defensive about it. I'm a bit of a bitch. Indeed you are. I work in construction and I've heard people say I've made X amount of apprentices quit. They just weren't cut out for it, hee. So you're telling me you're just an arsehole? High body count. I personally don't care, but I've talked to people and they mostly told me they wouldn't take a girl guy who has a high count seriously in a relationship. People who boast about I hate people who hate people. Takeaway. You're still a person who trades in the currency of hate. Also, literally the plot to Star Wars. Being crazy, or any other form of chaos. Been in counseling for 20 years, and I just don't see the benefit of inviting chaos. Don't you know who I am? No, I don't know you. Random person with a camera in their hand, filming everything that's happening. That they're a good person. You should never have to convince yourself or others that you're a good person, and in my personal experience those that have said that have been the exact opposite of a good person. How religious they are. Being good at drunk driving. Edit. It's concerning that this has over 200 views and only 2 upvotes. I don't tip. I don't believe in it. I have seen some people brag about hurting animals. As I do believe the click once said, if they are willing to hurt animals, they are willing to hurt you. Money and materialistic goods. I have no filter. I just say what everyone else is thinking. Translation. I'm rude and I lack self-awareness. There's a difference between being honest and just being an arsehole. If you have to announce you have a no filter, hey, you probably shouldn't be talking. I don't get attached. Usually means they avoid accountability. Being an empath. Anyone who has to say that is being performative. I'm the same person with everyone. Being rude to a waiter the same way you talk to your friends is not a flex. Wisconsinite here. Drinking to excess. Bragging about their qualities. Like. I am smart. Translates as narrow-minded and arrogant. Or. I am brutally honest. Translates as insensitive. I think saying I already knew that when asking another person a question about a topic maybe counts. There are those that genuinely already know it and those that don't understand the rest of it. Hearing it once and knowing are two different things. If you can't handle me at my worst, you don't deserve my best. Run as fast as you can from these people. People who keep saying that they are a good person. Let others say that about you if it's true. How late they are to everything. That's not cute or quirky. It's rude as fuck and gets in the way of everybody else's schedules. Figure out what you need to do to get places on time. Graduated from the School of Hard Knocks.